All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Today is September 5th, and welcome to my 5th and 28th podcast, I guess, or weekly or live. Um, what I do, and the reason why I chose the 5th and the 28th, because my birthday is May 28th. So those are my two favorite numbers. So why not have going live on the 5th and 28th? So I've been doing this. I told myself at the beginning of this year that I was going to be consistent. I kind of fell off, but now I'm back on it and I'm going to be super consistent, right? That is my goal. So I am here with a very special guest. Today we are talking about from paychecks to portfolios, the employer advantage with ADP. So I'm here with Jennifer Brackett. She is the mega elite district manager at ADP. I was like, wait, what kind of name? I love that name. I love it. So thank you all so much for tuning in, and thank you, Jennifer. I love her energy. So y'all, we're about to have some fun. She's about to I can tell it. She makes payroll fun. Okay.
Yeah, that as much as I can.
Jennifer makes payroll fun. So the people are like, how can payroll be fun? Well, just stay tuned with us. So Jennifer, please let everybody know who you are and what do you do at ADP.
Absolutely. Okay, so yes, like you said, I'm I know the title literally does sound fake, the mega elite district manager of ADP. It just means I'm a consultant, right? A spiced up consultant, right? So the mega elite, just I don't know, it's a ranking technically at ADP. So I will say I'm a little higher up in the rank, so y'all should know I know what I'm talking about, right? But just to give you guys some context, I know everyone hears the word ADP. You know, I think statistically, I think we've paid the statistic is 1 in every 4 employees in the US. So kind of a cool statistic, but we are a payroll company. So you've probably statistically been paid through ADP before.
When I worked at the Hyatt, my paychecks came from ADP.
Yep, exactly. So what I do specifically is I work with businesses that have under 50 employees technically, and I onboard them to ADP. We have a consultant, a consultation, I should say, where we go in, kind of identify the needs. I would say the one thing about ADP that you would need to know if you've never heard about us before is we're a payroll software. Payroll software, it's cut and dry, pretty simple. What makes us very different, I think, than a lot of the other companies that offer the same services is we're a 2-in-1 system. So we're payroll and then also HR support. So like hiring, onboarding, we're gonna get into all that because that's like, honestly, goes into a lot how you build wealth, but we'll talk about that in a sec. But yeah, that's ADP. That's me. I actually do have something kind of exciting for everyone. Okay.
Yes.
All right. As of yesterday, I am also a registered representative of FINRA, meaning I have my license, in finance as well. And I have the ability.
The exam, which exam?
Oh my goodness. I've been locked away for the last 3 months studying, by the way. That's why I'm so pale right now. But there's I took the SIE, which is the introductory exam. I took the Series 6. Which is like investment companies, like mutual funds, riveting, right? And then lastly, I took, it's called the Series 63. I just took that one yesterday and passed. So
congratulations, that is hard.
Oh, I have I've been talking about my friends and my family, you can tell, and I'd say it's for a good reason, but you can tell that FINRA, which is the Finance Regulatory Association here in the US, you can tell that they are putting a very tight filter on that bottleneck of an industry. Like they really do not want everybody coming in here telling people how to spend their money. Like you have to to get
I don't have my license. I'm studying for it now, but my firm Vester is a member of FINRA. We're a crowdfunding portal. So it is. That is a big thing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
For people who don't understand, it is a lot of work. It is a lot of studying, and to get approved, to pass and get approved, that is a big. I hope you celebrated.
Oh yeah, yep. Steak dinner and all last night.
You deserved it and earned it. Well, congratulations, Jennifer. Y'all give a shout out to Jennifer. It is huge. Thanks. Let's go ahead and give her a hand clap.
Thanks, y'all.
So now let's get into the question because I want to know, and I'm sure everyone else wants to know, why payroll is why are we about to have this conversation about payroll? Portfolio, payroll to portfolios, right? So first question is, most people think payroll is just about getting paid, but how can it actually be the first step to building wealth and ownership?
That is a great question, actually. So a few different a few different answers, I guess, a few different avenues, depending on where you are, right?
Mhm.
So I would say for a brand new business owner, right? Let's say if you're, let's say if you haven't even gotten the LLC yet, right? And it's a dream. Okay.
Mhm.
So once you get into the actual, business, you have to realize none of the banks are going to want to fund you guys or give you guys any loans, right? Because there's no proof of income,
Right.
there's no documentation of anything, right?
Right.
And it stinks too, because entrepreneurs are naturally kind of pushed into a corner where it's like, you guys are expected to still have a full-time job somewhere so you can fund the business,
Right.
and it's like, okay, well, how does that translate? Like, I can't even get a business loan, right?
Right.
So something that's very important to understand is that once you have the business, as long as you have an EIN number, we can get you a pay stub, right? So when it
Nice.
comes to, regardless of the entity, right? Now, I would say, like, definitely have a conversation with a CPA, an actual licensed CPA, about entities, right? And like picking the right one for you, LLC and S Corp and C Corp and all these other options. You don't need to be an expert in it. And that's why there's licensed individuals out there. But allowing yourself, even right when you get the EIN number, you are technically eligible to hop on payroll, to get your pay stubs and to start really kind of working in the right direction. It just documents everything, right? Like, you're documenting your own income. You're making
Right.
yourself a W-2 employee of your own business, right? So kind of opens up the door. I tell a lot of my owners, like, this is kind of the piece you can plug in that lets you quit that full-time job. It's like that. It's the bridge that gaps, it like covers the gap essentially, So I'd say that. I would say, yeah, like, documentation wise, I think that it helps new business owners a lot, like, take that final step into being like, okay, like, I'm ready. I can quit this job. I'm not relying on their retirement or their insurance anymore. Like, I can offer it to myself. Right. So it's just about honestly knowing your resources. And I think that that's a big reason why you don't see a ton of, like, new entrepreneurs hopping right on payroll after they get the LLCs, because nobody told them about it. Right. Unless you're calling ADP, but you don't know what you don't know. So that's,
Now you mentioned documentation. What kind of documentation?
yeah. So when you put your company on payroll, I mean, hey, at least with ADP's purposes, you are, I call it a separation of church and state. So you're basically, right, like, I'm going to break down like a very simple example. So let's say if you pay yourself, well, here, I'll say it like this. So let's say if you have been working in your first month in business, and we don't expect you to make $1,000,000 in your first month. Let's say we'll keep it easy numbers. Let's say you make $5,000 in your first month of business, right?
Mhm.
So if you said, hey, like, I want a paper trail of this, I want to start paying myself, right? The thing is we are not going to have you pay, right? As a business owner, businesses don't pay income tax on that full 5K. Right.
Mhm.
So as an owner, you look at the 5K and you're like, okay, well, as an owner, I'm going to take a portion of that and tax it. That is
Mhm.
your income. That's your W-2 income. And when
Got
you actually plug it into a software like ADP, and there's professionals here to help you, you don't got to be an expert in tech or anything like that. When you plug it into ADP, that's what actually documents it. So it's going to, like, every time you process a payroll, you have a legit pay stub to show. We do all the tax filings too. So it's like, once you plug in the piece, it's kind of just like, we're where you type in the information, but we do all the reporting on your behalf. So documentation, I more so mean, like, the actual physical pay stubs, again, separating the church and state, making sure the IRS is getting the memo, your state's getting the memo, without you having to be like a tax expert. You know what I mean?
That's
So
okay. Good. That makes sense.
yeah.
So the next question is, what are the hidden tax advantages that most employers and employees are leaving on the table when it comes to payroll?
I
You like
love this
that?
question.
You like that
My
question?
goodness, coming off
Okay.
that exam yesterday, I'm like, y'all are not going to be able to get me to shut up about tax advantages. As a matter of fact,
Oh, shucks, come through now.
yeah, just saying. I will say this, the one thing that I think business owners, and it's to no fault of the entrepreneur or the soon-to-be entrepreneur, there is nobody out there who's just going to give you the knowledge, right? Just give you
Right.
hey, here's a piece of tax info that's going to make you $20,000 a year. It's like that doesn't necessarily exist, right? The other
Right.
thing is naturally, as an entrepreneur, like, again, nobody's knocking on your door wanting to give you the
Right.
information.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, you have to be hungry for it, but you don't know what you don't know. You don't even know what questions to ask sometimes. So I would say, kind of like, a hidden tax advantage that's left on the table always is going to be the retirement tax credits that you get.
Okay.
So you do not need to be an expert to, like, fully understand this. All you need to know is the IRS and Congress teamed up back in 2022 to make some legislation called the Secure Act 2.0. And yep, what it does, it's some legislation.
Wait a minute, repeat that for the folks that missed that. So it's the Secure 2.0, it's the what Secure 2.0?
It's the Secure Act 2.0.
Secure
Yep.
Act
And
2.0.
it allows business owners, if you have under 50 employees, the IRS is literally begging business owners to offer retirement. And get this, even if it's just to yourself. That's it, right? If you're a W-2 employee under your own business, let's say you're in the setup process, you just wanted to document everything, you don't have employees yet, you can still offer yourself retirement and still get these tax credits, right? It's just about like having the resource, somebody to plug it in for you, right? So
wow.
The Secure Act, essentially what it is, my understanding, and again, like, a CPA out there is probably like, maybe not, but I've always thought that they put out the Secure Act because there's a conspiracy going around that Social Security won't be around for very long. I think we've all heard that before.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, out there is like shaking their head. But the Secure Act, essentially, in my head, is it was the IRS's way of saying, hey, we need you guys to be saving for retirement in another way, right? Like we have noticed, there are not a lot of individuals in the US who are actually saving for retirement, right? And they're maybe worried about paying that Social Security out, right? Allegedly. So when it comes to offering retirement, they said, we need to target the small business owners. If you have under 50 employees, that's who employs the average American. That's who employs America. So what they said was, we're going to make it so attractive for you to offer retirement that it's going to be a no-brainer. We are going to pay you to do it, right? So just by setting up a plan, whether it's an IRA, 401k, doesn't matter. Like we'll talk about the type. You need a consultation to like really make sure you're getting matched up with your right suitability needs and whatnot. But just by even offering yourself a plan, it's like a minimum. I'd say on average, if you have under 5 employees, like my clients are probably getting at least 1,500 in tax credits at the end of the year, which might be, for your first year in business, and I don't know what your expenses look like, but I'm just saying, like, normally first year in business to have any tax credits is pretty rare to see, but you just got to know how to plug these things in. So,
wow, that's amazing. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, that's a rough estimate too. You could get so much more back. I mean,
no, I love that. That's good information. Yo, if y'all loving this information, please put something in the chat to show Jennifer some love, because I'm taking notes. This is amazing, right?
Thank you.
So my next question is, with fintech evolving so fast, what's the future of payroll and how will it change the way people invest, save, and build wealth?
Oh gosh, the nerd in me is like just flaming right now.
Let's go. I'm here for it.
I do. I love that question. So 2025, we know like technology is evolving. AI is its own little beast, right? ChatGPT, me and her, very close friends, right? There's a lot evolving.
I love how you said ChatGPT is a woman. I love how you said that, right?
She is, absolutely. Exactly. So, and if you don't know it, now you know it.
Right.
But technology is changing a lot. So in particular, ADP has integrated AI into it. Just means that we're a lot smarter, right? Like we know we can identify your needs a little bit more. We can kind of remove the human error that happens in payroll, right? Like imagine it being like your first week in business, you hire somebody and you accidentally put an extra 0 in their paycheck, right? Like all the way down from a super simple level to like, hey, tech is getting better. We're getting safer, more secure with your, like the client's information, all your social security numbers, like bank accounts, all that. That's just like inherent, right?
Right.
I would say what people are not really getting the full side of, coming from somebody who works inside of a tech company, I get to see where we're actually putting the dollars and what is actually like, what are these big tech companies actually investing in? And from a payroll perspective on our side, I know exactly what the biggest advancement is going to be. And ADP we've already technically been doing it. It's just now stronger than ever. We're putting more resources into it. And it's actually going to be HR integrations. So it's not so monetary related. You don't think it is, at least. But what I mean by saying that is the payroll system that you set up for your business, even if it's just there in the beginning to pay yourself and get some things documented, we are starting to put HR features into payroll like softwares, meaning you hire your employee, you find your employees, you interview the employees, you run their background check, you onboard the employees, get all the state new hire paperwork that none of y'all should be experts in at all. It's all done in one system. So when we talk about saving business owners time and putting money back into their pockets, again, it's not us, giving you a $5 bill necessarily, but you have to understand, especially you, Davonne, I'm sure with you being in business for as long as you've been now, like you understand sometimes your HR practices and just being more efficient and getting everything in your system and
Yeah.
using it,
Yeah.
makes business so much more efficient. And like, it lets you spend more time on what I call the revenue generating activities, RGAs. So
I love it.
integration and streamlining, I think, is like big thing to come in fintech coming up.
No, you're absolutely right. Now,
Yeah.
if you're an employee listening right now, what is the number one thing you can do today with your paycheck to start building a portfolio instead of just paying bills? Now we're talking, I think in the beginning we were talking mostly to like the employers and business owners, but now we're going to take this question to the employees. So if you're listening, employees, or folks who, W-2s listening right now, what's the number one thing you can do today with your paycheck to start building a portfolio instead of just paying bills? This is for you, Jennifer.
I would say, so if you are lucky and blessed enough to work for an employer who is offering you some sort of tax advantage like retirement plan, absolutely. And not for the purpose of you actually having some funds left over, at the end of the year or at the end of your retirement age, right? Like, yes, it's kind of just an added benefit that you get to save for retirement. But if you are lucky enough to where your employer is offering you a, some sort of tax advantage retirement plan, or if they're not, even go open a Roth IRA. But I'm telling you, like, having something building up in the background for you is going to help you more than you know. The reason it's kind of more beneficial if you can find it through an employer is because that's what's going to do something called reducing your tax liability, right? So if let's say you make 50K on your W-2 through your normal everyday job, let's say they offer you a retirement plan. Let's say that you're able to put away 10K by the end of the year. It means that although on your W-2 you still made 50K, you only pay taxes on 40 that year, right?
Oh, wow.
Also, the 10K that you set aside is being invested, right? And in a portfolio. So it starts growing and whatnot. So your 10K ends up making you money. I think that I'll kind of simplify my answer almost in a different direction. I think my number one piece of advice for an employee would be to get your money out of your stinking savings account in your bank. Stop putting money into savings account, guys. Put it into an IRA, anything. Download Robinhood. Like, I'm telling you, the quicker you can get comfortable with relinquishing all we're talking about too is you pulling up your bank app on your phone. The reason people don't want to invest or watch the money leave is because they don't want to open up that bank app and be like, holy crap, I'm not seeing the 10K that I normally have in there. It's going to be sitting in another app on your phone. Think about it like that. It is as simple as that. It's going to be sitting in another app on your phone, except it's going to be growing there, right?
Right.
So just talk to anybody. Even ChatGPT should be able to help you out a little bit. You don't have to hire a financial advisor. Invest in the
look at you for someone who just finished their license.
Just saying. I know. Me directing them to ChatGPT is all right, maybe we don't.
Look, financial advisors, licensed financial advisors are like, really, Jennifer? Did you really?
Really.
After you just finished the exam, did you really just say that?
Yeah. ChatGPT is gonna put FINRA out of business, I guess.
She did. Now let's take a step. Thank you for that. So let's take a step back to employers and business owners. So what kind of companies do ADP work with? Do you work with, solopreneurs? Is there a minimum of employees or contractors that a company would have to have in order to work with you all?
Great question, actually. So we service any business from one employee, aka just the owner, or actually 0 employees, all the way up until, you could technically have 5,000 plus employees, right? You wouldn't be working with me, but I'd be happy to send that lead somewhere. But primarily, for this audience's purposes, what you would essentially be onboarding to, or what we support the best in this space is going to be, we provide software for business owners that just want to pay themselves, and that's it, all the way up until about 50 employees. Okay. Because what happens at 50 employees is you have more regulation coming in from the Department of Labor, Department of Revenue. You have more eyes on you when you're 50 employees big, So once you reach 50 employees, it's not that you can't work with ADP, you're just put on a different software, right? And I still help you. I'm still your main point of contact sort of thing, but you go on a different software that's built to help with compliance specifically, right? So the goal is, and I know we're talking about finance, and this is more finance related than I think people think, but as a business owner, you have to realize how valuable your time actually is. So the quicker you can get things to just be automated, automate it, right? So once you get up to that big 50 employee space, get on a software that just does that compliance new stuff for you. You do not have time for that. Nobody does, right? Outsource. So I'd say with the software that we have that would probably be more fitting for this group in particular. It's called Run, powered by ADP. It's for 1 to 50 employees, any industry technically.
Right.
I specialize in the hotel space in anything like public relations, and also anything medical specifically, like home cares, hospitals, like that kind of stuff. But every time you get an account with ADP, especially if y'all click the link that she's going to post, that you actually get a consultation with me particularly. So I look at every situation, because you don't need to come into ADP knowing exactly what you need, knowing exactly what you want. You just need to know, hey, I think I might need to be looking into payroll. We'll figure out the rest for you. That's what we're here for, So
yeah, some companies that they use other services. So what, I think there's Gusto, Rippling. So what would set ADP apart from your competitors?
Oh, absolutely. There's a lot, I feel like. So first thing is
or QuickBooks, right? Because some people use QuickBooks for payroll, right?
Okay. Yeah, we have a little. Okay, I'm never going to talk down on another competitor's game, but I will say we kind of have a joke about QuickBooks where I all day long for their bookkeeping and y'all's business expenses, I think they're beautiful, right? For all the bookkeeping, we kind of have a joke that they should have never touched payroll. But truly only because it is a very tax sensitive subject, right? Like, you guys don't need to be experts in it, but your payroll company is touching your taxes a lot, right? Like, they're liable for them, really. So you kind of, easy way to say it, like what we say in the industry, is you kind of get what you pay for when it comes to payroll, right? ADP is not the cheapest. We don't try to be the cheapest. And that's kind of what sets us apart. We're very different. We kind of offer the white glove service of like, hey, if you are not trying to be a tax expert, if you just kind of want to rest your head on your pillow at night, know that you're going to sleep well. It's like, that's when you outsource to a company kind of like ADP. Mm-hmm. I'd say the number one thing that makes us different is, well, first of all, I mean, we're the longest standing payroll company that is in the US, actually in the world, where I think we just celebrated, I want to say it was either our 75th or 80th birthday. I'm like, golly. Yeah. I'm like, geez, Louise. So yeah, we're very old. We're like Fortune 200 company. More importantly, I'd say, just in terms of size, everyone kind of knows ADP, obviously, but what makes us different to what's usable information for you guys today is going to be ADP software is going to give you more than just payroll, right? It's going to do the payroll and the tax filing. That's what all the other payroll companies do. You'll find it anywhere. It's going to look almost the same pretty much anywhere. Mm-hmm. It's the support outside of that, right? So it's the HR features. Does the payroll company give you background checks so you can run it in-house, right? Are you having to pay some other vendor for that, right? It's kind of like, rather than getting 10 accounts set up to run business, we're the one that just puts it into one, right? Okay. Whereas if you go with QuickBooks or any other competitor, it's like, you'll end up needing the same exact services. You're just going to work with 7 other vendors to get it all, Okay. So I'd say streamlining is probably what separates us the most.
Okay. Oh, nice. So now how can people, because I know I have a special link, right? So I'll go ahead and put it, because I know people are like, oh my gosh, Jennifer, how can I work? So how can I work with you, right? How can I get involved with ADP? I know people are asking like crazy. And if you have any questions for Jennifer, please put it in the chat so that way we can get it for you. Now, I do have a question for you. Do you cover a certain region? I'm based out of Atlanta. Where are you based out of?
Atlanta, baby.
Woo! Oh my gosh.
Born and raised.
Born and raised. Oh, see a Georgia peach.
Yeah. But I actually am one of the few ADP reps, just because of my tenure. I actually work in all 50 states. So it doesn't matter where you are. Okay. If you're here in Atlanta, awesome. Let's schedule a lunch or something, or an in-person consultation so I can get out of this dang house. If you're outside of Georgia, I normally do phone consultations. So
okay, so we'll definitely put the link in the chat so that way you can contact Jennifer and ask any questions. Oh yeah, go for it.
I was gonna say, I didn't even tell you this, as a matter of fact, but I actually have a little bit of I have some perks for your people today. So if you are watching this particularly and you fill out the link in the bio or in the description, I will, you guys are going to get a minimum of a 25% lifetime discount, with ADP. So, yep. So that is basically that just means lifetime. It's not necessarily going to go anywhere. So it's something that you'll redeem now and it'll stay there for the rest of time. Okay. I think right now as well, and this will depend on your consultation, kind of where you're at with business, but we are offering 4 months for free as well to this group.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Of course, always. And then, especially too, because you're here in Atlanta. I'm like, girl, I'm going to hook it up.
You got to hook up. I know we got to connect. Now, is this promotion, is it for anyone? Is it for a certain size? Is it for any industry?
So the 25% lifetime discount, that's through the Vaughn Group, babies. That's through y'all. And that's for any business, right?
Okay.
Like that's any business. The 4 months for free, if I'm not mistaken, it's technically I want to say it's if you have 3+ employees.
Okay.
But that's one of those things where if you come to me and you have 2 employees, just let me know.
Now, me 2 employees part-time, or could it be anybody on payroll?
But anybody on payroll, anybody.
Okay.
Yeah, anybody. Yep. And then we waive the $200 setup fee for the group as well. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's through Davonne, y'all. That is not really an ADP thing. That is because she's a great partner. So just letting y'all know that's not a me thing. That's
what we do. This is what we do. I appreciate that. So definitely, I'll put the link in the chat. If you have any questions for Jennifer, definitely go through the link so that way you can get it on her calendar. It sounds like she's just so much fun that if you're in Atlanta, probably to connect. This is for folks who are business owners, hotel owners, hiring hotel owners, and they're under contract and they trying to figure out what to do with their employees and set it up. So thank you so much, Jennifer. Can folks follow? Are you on LinkedIn?
I am on LinkedIn. Yep. Jennifer Brackett. I wonder if I send my name in the oh, you'll have my name up there. Yeah. Find me on LinkedIn. We can also we can throw my phone number in on that link as well.
Okay.
It's my personal cell. People can call, text. I know it sounds crazy.
We'll put it in. Yeah, we'll put it. Yeah. We'll put it in.
Yeah. So, but yeah, call me, y'all. I'm here.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. This has been absolutely amazing. Let us know in the chat where you're coming from. We're both in Atlanta.
Yeah.
We have folks from all over. Now, we do have, ADP, is it an international company? Because I do have folks international as well. Is it an international company? So folks,
it is international.
Okay.
Yep. I think the international, it depends on where you're at. You might not, if you are international, you'll still get to talk to me initially. I will have to probably send like a lead over to, ADP Spain sort of thing.
Right, but, wherever it is, right.
But yeah, I'll make the introduction and make sure you're taken care of sort of thing. So.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank Jennifer. This has been absolutely amazing. I learned a lot. Like, if this has been helpful for you all, let us know in the chat. This has been, my brain is spinning. I'm like, wait, you can do this, you can do that. You made payroll sounds fun. Of course. Also, like we talked, like really much the title of, payroll to portfolios and how folks can. Now, one thing we didn't touch on, if you have a couple minutes. One thing we didn't touch on is having a W-2. It makes it easier to get loans, right? Because we do real estate investors. So I think that's really important that we touch on. So you guys don't leave yet. From
good point.
Real estate who are independent contractors or who they're not on. How can folks put themselves, or a solopreneur put themselves on payroll so that way they can it makes it easier for them to qualify for loans?
Yes, absolutely. Yep. So it's kind of going back to it where it's like, you guys, in order to get a business loan or in order to get business funding, and again, like, I might not be your gal for that, but a lot of the times they're going to ask you in order to get that, like, hey, we're going to need it to either see 2 years of business history or a pay stub, right? Last 3 months of pay stubs. So what that looks like, legitimately, is you like getting an ADP account or payroll account, paying, like, you set yourself, and the rep should be doing this for you. Again, like you guys do not need to be an expert in this side, but like I will set you up as a W-2. And then you just pay yourself. It doesn't have to be super consistent in the beginning. But again, every time you pay yourself, especially if you're trying to get business funding and they're asking for 3 months of pay stubs or whatever it might be, let's get you on payroll and make sure that you're consistent for at least those 3 months. So you have what you need to show the bank or the mortgage lender or whoever it might be. But it just gives you proof of income. So legitimized, documented pay stubs.
That will help, especially for the folks who are trying to buy real estate, maybe even trying to buy their house and take advantage of conventional loans. Another question that pops up, because this is you got my brain spinning.
Oh, hey, that's all right.
And if I have the question, I'm sure other folks have similar questions.
That's the
thing.
Would
you need an H? Because a lot of folks, including myself, are small business owners. So, and some people don't have an HR in-house department. So who would handle the HR? Like, who would handle that?
We are.
So you would.
We are your HR department. We are your HR department. That's exactly kind of what I was. Actually, great point. So like that is exactly what I meant. Where it's like, you guys are getting into the business of, maybe it's hotel ownership. I mean, it could be whatever it is. I can tell you, you're probably not getting into it to be an HR expert, right? Like nobody knows, nobody expects you to know what to put in an employee handbook. Nobody expects you to know how to get a job description completely buttoned up. So you, in the very beginning, heck, I'd argue until you get like 35 to 40 employees, like you do not need some sparkly HR administrator and put her on payroll for $65,000 a year. Like there are other ways in 2025, there are other ways to get that HR support and that HR expertise without having to pay somebody an actual salary. Yeah, that's the idea like of the ADP account. That's what makes us different actually, is that the software actually does include the HR side, right? So it's like, we are your hiring, right? We are your background checks. We are your firing. We tell you exactly how to, terminate somebody. We even give you a termination letter to use and an offer letter, right? We give you the questions you're allowed to ask in interviews, the questions you're not allowed to ask. So, I mean, HR is its own like whole world. That is why we don't expect you to be an expert in it, right? It's like it's its own profession. So that answers your question. Yeah, you should be hands off from HR. If you're talking to somebody who knows what they're talking about, yeah, you should be pretty hands off from the HR side.
Okay, that's good to know. Oh my God.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. This is so much fun.
I know, right? I love it. I mean, hey, at the end of the day, as an entrepreneur, like not a lot of people are just going to be so open about giving you guys the information. But
that's true. Yeah.
I'm gonna say two things. One, knowledge is always power. The more you know, again, you do not need to be a tax expert to just understand the concept of being a W-2 employee. Right. And two, lean on your resources. I have a phrase, actually I end it with this, as a matter of fact. Don't forget this. Network makes the check work, please. Thank you.
Like that. You better come on, Jennifer. You better come on with these bars. Wait, say that again.
I know. Hey.
You better come through, Miss Jennifer. Wait, say that again.
Call me Jay Breezy. Network makes the check work.
Jay Breezy, come through with that line again. Wait, we got to say that one more time. Say it.
Yeah, network makes the check work. I say it all the time.
Makes the check work. Y'all hear that? Y'all like that?
Use your resources. Seriously, use that
Jay Breezy. Come through, Jay Breezy with ADP. That's why you're the the elite mega district. Yeah, that's why I see why they look. They had to create their own special title for you because you are
right. That's so funny. I know my manager probably is somewhere watching this like, oh my God.
I love it. I love it, Jay Breezy. I'm here for it. Well, thank you, Jennifer, for tuning in. Thank you all so much for listening in. We will see you all next time on the 28th of September. Thank you all.